Letting go of the decision right after they make it, that is the greatest skill there is.
Just let it go.
Even after all these years, I'm still stuck on results. It's like if I win a pot, I'm more likely to think I played it well. And if I lose a pot, I'm a little more likely to think I didn't play it well.
We all are, right?
Even though away from the table, I can evaluate it objectively.
Sure. Okay.
But there's something about it. It's the same way with a session. It's like if I win for the day, I'm more likely to overrate my play. And if I lose for the day, I'm more likely to underrate my play. Is there anyone not like this?
No, I don't think so. if you are, please leave a comment and tell us that you're the exception.
Yeah.
It's all about our obsession with what happened in the past. The thing that really made me want to do this episode was this hand history group that I participate in. And quite often I'll see people say, well, I folded and then the following cards came out and now I wish I hadn't folded.
Right.
So they'll say, I had pocket sevens and the flop was, king 8-3 and there was a bet and a raise and I folded.
Right.
And then of course the turn was a 7 and I'd have hit a 7. What a massive pot. And I'm just like, that 7 on the turn was in an alternate universe that was nearby, but it wasn't our universe.
A good example of that would be folding before the flop, especially if you're trying to tighten up your game before the flop because you've seen some of our other videos. Then what that means is as soon as you fold a hand that you're not accustomed to folding and you would have flopped a full house, this is a time to think to yourself, okay, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to relax.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
And realize that I'm being results oriented right now and I want to be less results oriented. And this is the training of just going through that over and over and over.
I find it's really healthy for me. If I fold a pocket pair pre-flop, I find it really interesting to focus. And if I would have flopped a set, to just go, whatever. It takes some inner steel, I'll tell you what.
Right.
But if you can get into that habit and just go, alternate universe, it doesn't matter to me. I made a good decision to fold that pocket pair.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that is the highest state that we're talking about. What I tend to do, or what I used to do, is I would flop the set and I would just pray somebody makes a flush.
But again, it's just all an alternate universe that we're not in, and just see it as that and move forward in our own universe.
Yes, well, letting go.
Letting go.
Yeah.
Let it go, let it go, can't hold it back anymore.
It's important for us as poker players to realize that good play is what we see in the windshield, not in the rearview mirror. One thing that I tell my coaching clients is try to get out of the habit of paying attention to cards that come out after the decisions are made. After you folded or you're all in or whatever it is, after the decisions are done, then random cards that come out have no value to you.
Right, to help you evaluate. Yeah.
Exactly. They have no predictive value for how you will do well or poorly.
Yeah.
So it is absolutely vital that you avoid paying attention to things that have no bearing on future decisions that you're going to make.
One thing that happens to me a lot, and this was one of the ways I was able to realize just how much I held on to the results and how much it clouded my ability to evaluate how well I played, was let's say I come home and I'm a $600 winner for the day, playing 5-10, and I feel like, okay, I'll remember some pots I played that were pretty well. I made some good bluffs. I was like, wow, I'm a professional poker player. I earned $600 today.
Right.
I'm a good player. Now, the next day, let's say I come home a $600 loser, and I'm second guessing. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have paid that off, or maybe I should have bluffed here and all that.
Right.
And then I realized that the only difference between winning 600 or losing 600 was one flush draw that I hit.
Right.
or didn't hit
Right.
in the middle of the session, a hand I didn't remember. And so I was basing my whole evaluation on how well I performed for a whole day on a random card I didn't even remember.
Right.
And that's what woke me up to realizing that if I want to continue improving, I need to be able to accurately evaluate how I played. And if I'm constantly being skewed by the results,
Been days of confused.
if you have an idea in your mind that you're a good bluffer, then you're going to remember the bluffs that work,
Right.
and you're not going to remember the ones that fail. And if you are the type of person who defends the blinds with Queen 6 suited against a raise, and now all of a sudden one day you fold Queen 6 suited and you would have flopped a full house and busted a guy with pocket aces, that's what you're going to remember.
Right.
And that's going to make you play bad in the future. We tend to pick the bits of evidence that and data that support the theories or our own desires. And that makes this whole thing very tricky. So what can we do about it? How can we make ourselves better players, better evaluators, despite this huge burden that we all carry around?
Well, one, it's not easy, and two, we'll never be perfect at it. And you know, you're looking at 60 years of combined poker experience here, and we both still suffer from that. So don't think you're going to cure it. One of the problems of poker is that quite often we do things that have a relatively low probability of being successful, and yet they are absolutely correct. A classic example comes from limit hold'em. Let's say it's on the river, and somebody bets, and you think that you only have a 20% chance of having the best hand, but you're getting 10-to-1 pot odds.
Right.
Well, you call every single time. I mean, you know, any poker person can say, oh yeah, well, you obviously make a call.
Right.
You're getting 10-to-1, you're only a 4-to-1 dog, so you call.
Right.
Easy game, right? Except 80% of the time, you get shown a better hand.
Right. Yeah.
And it gets really hard to just force yourself to make that same decision every single time, even though in your brain, you know it's the right decision.
Decision is the key word here. In fact, I was just talking to some people the other day about what is a professional poker player. And these are some people who didn't understand poker, didn't understand all this. And, you know, to say, well, it's not gambling to somebody who doesn't quite get it, they're not going to get it. But if you put it like this, what I do is I make decisions.
Right.
That's what a poker player does. You just make a series of decisions, everything, you know, like bankroll, whatever, right? It's all decisions, and every one of them impacts your bottom line. And the whole idea of letting go of the decision right after the moment you make it, that is the greatest skill there is.
I don't believe it. That is why you fail.
So let's say you sit down at a 2-5 game and you decide to buy in for 500.
Right.
You're not going to second guess that decision.
Right.
But it was still a decision.
Sure.
It's the second guessing of the decisions is what kills us, especially in the heat of battle.
Right.
And that's why we all need to train ourselves to see our poker lives as a series of decisions. And when you make a decision, it's over. It's in the past. It's in the rearview mirror.
Exactly.
What's in the windshield?
You know, Tommy, you said it's not gambling, but I went through this in the PokerStars years, where Isai kept saying it's not gambling, it's not gambling. Yes, it's gambling. Okay, we're all gambling, right? I mean, life is a gamble.
Call it.
Poker is definitely a gamble.
Okay.
We are making the best decision that we can, but then we are putting the actual results in the hands of that deck of cards.
Right.
It's gambling.
Yeah, I agree. When you look at it like that, it's definitely gambling.
So the problem is that because we are human beings and are results oriented, when the gamble comes out poorly, we say, oh, that was a bad decision. No, it wasn't.
Right.
It was the best decision we could make given the information that we had.
Yeah.
It's the same idea if you see a washing machine that should cost $400, you see it on sale for $350, you say, great price. You go out, you buy the washing machine.
Yeah.
The next week, you see it on sale for $325, and you go, I made a bad decision.
Right.
You did not.
Yeah.
You made a perfectly fine decision, then information came along later.
Yeah.
You didn't have that information.
Right. You would have made a different decision then based on that information, but it doesn't mean the first one was wrong.
Right. Let's say that you decide, for whatever theoretical reasons, that you're going to make a big bluff.
Okay.
Okay? You make the bluff, and the guy snaps you off with top set.
But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Does that mean you made a bad bluff? No. It means that you had the information that you had, and it was a good time to bluff, and so you bluffed.
Right.
The fact that it didn't work this one time doesn't tell you that it was a good bluff or not. It simply tells you that it didn't work this one time.
Right.
You still have to go back in and look at the foundation of the bluff that you made to decide if it was a good bluff or not.
Long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile.
Here's something that we used to do back at 2+2, back in the old days, that was really a huge part for all of us back then to learn to be not so obsessed with results, okay? And I think you said you guys are doing this in your forum now. Okay, so let's say you're in a poker forum where people are coming in every day telling about hands they played. I did this.
This was good, yeah.
You know, I did this, I did this, I did this, and you know, I had this tough decision on the turn, this is what I did, this is why I did it, and then the river card came and this is who won the pot.
Right.
That's how the story's told, right? Well, what happened was we had all these experts analyzing these hands back at 2+2,
Right.
and because we knew the results, because we knew the bluff worked or it didn't work or whatever the heck happened.
It taints your view every single time, and you can't help it.
Right. We're talking about the posters now, the replayers.
Yes.
The people who are trying to help the original poster come to the best answer, what they should have done on the turn, become heavily influenced by the actual results that happened on the river. So what we did was we kind of made a pact. It's like if you want to put up a hand and you want some serious review, don't give the results.
Absolutely do not.
Yeah.
Because we are humans, we are incapable
Yeah.
of unseeing those results
Right.
and then evaluating the decisions
Yeah.
absent
Can't be
those
done.
results.
So this made it way more fun for the posting, because what happens is somebody tells the hand, here's what happened on the turn. I 3-bet the turn or whatever. You know, what do you think I should have done is the question.
Right.
Now we get the answers from all the experts, and then we get the reveal
Right.
of what happened.
Exactly.
And then another round of posts, people saying, oh, well, blah, blah.
Right.
But that doesn't matter. The whole point here is the training
Yes.
of training yourself to let go of whatever the heck happens after you've made your decision.
Right. Just let it go.
Train yourself to let go.
Something else I want to talk about? Bad beat stories.
Yeah.
Okay? My feeling about bad beat stories is well known throughout the poker industry, so here's my chance to say it on video.
Wait. How much do you charge now to listen to a bad?
It used to be $1, but I think it's going to have to go to $5
Okay.
with inflation and everything.
Right.
Here's the situation. A bad beat story is nothing more than focus, pain, and energy spent on results. The decision that you made, whether you bet, whether you went all in, whether your opponent went all in, whatever it was, the bad beat is just random stuff that happened after all the decisions were over. Yeah. And I think at the core, that's why I've never wanted to listen to bad beat stories. They teach me nothing.
Yeah.
They teach me that he hit runner, full house, or whatever it was.
Right.
But I always want to go back and say, well, why did you decide to shove there? Or
Right.
why did you decide to bet, or whatever it was? That is a decision thing.
Yeah.
What happens after the cards came out?
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Basically, anytime you tell or hear a bad beat story, all you're hearing is just an example of someone being results oriented.
Right.
So if the objective is to be less results oriented, one way would be to not tell bad beat stories.
That.
Okay, what do we take to the casino?
I think what we take is a focus on your decisions, and then as soon as the decision is over, let what happens afterwards just go.
So we're taking the next 2 weeks off. going to visit family and such. And next video is going to go up January 8th, 2020. Coming right up. Wow. And we are hosting a meetup game at the Oaks Card Club right here in Oakland on January 7th. Details on that we're going to show you in a slide coming right up.
And I just would say, one, find the people that you love and tell them that you love them. And two, find those that are less fortunate than you are and share a little bit with them. Thanks a lot. Have great holidays.